probably do the rolls in.
I'd be sipping mad coffee.
This is the Coopdeville Podcast.
Why didn't you say something, bro?
I wear now are all like Dustin Poirier t-shirts.
Just merch.
Yeah, fuck it, gotta represent. Oh snap! We're back. We're back.
We've been waiting for this.
Oh yeah, I got some heat for this episode. It's stories, it's gonna be good.
Welcome back. Why you've been on our show before, and it was a fantastic episode. It was
I had a ton of fun.
We
That
had
was the
great
first time
conversations.
It was like the first time I did like someone else. It's fun like doing someone else's podcast.
I'm sure, yeah.
Makes you feel like a celebrity.
Right? It makes you feel like you're special.
Oh yeah.
And you are, Wyatt. Dude, how have you been since the military? Like since you've gotten back?
I mean, I've been good. Like it didn't even feel like I left. Like I got back, like I didn't take a break or anything. Like I got back on like a Saturday morning. I was back to work on Monday and I was like, damn, I really should have like taken a break. I was like driving home one day. I was like, did I even leave? I was like, nothing's changed.
Yeah, you needed a week or something, right? You needed to go like to Cabo.
Yeah, I went to Florida for a week.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was good.
Yeah, how'd that go? did you see any gators or what happened there?
I didn't see any gators, unfortunately. It was fun though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. I mean, man, it's got me thinking like I could really live in Tampa. I had so much fun in Tampa.
Really? Did you go beaching?
What did you what was it like down there? Because I've heard a lot of crazy shit. Did you see a lot of crazy shit?
Oh yeah, we saw some crazy shit. The probably the craziest thing we saw. So we were staying at an Airbnb, like 2 streets over. There's this part of Tampa called Ybor City, and it's just like a strip, and it's like cigar bar, restaurant, club for like an entire street, and it's amazing. We were staying like 2 streets over, so like we would go out, we'd go to like a cigar bar, and then we'd go get food. And we might like go back to the house, and then we'd go hit the clubs afterwards. But the funniest thing we saw was we were walking down the street, and either like these places, like there's just homeless people, like, and they tend to just hang out where the people are. And this lady's like leaned up in the corner in like the entryway of a door, and she is just finger blasting herself, like getting after it. And everybody's just walking by, and I'm like walking by. I like walk past. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, Joel, you see that? Like that girl's like,
was she
after it
naked
right now? And
or did she like hands in the
naked, she was, like
pants?
under her covers, but I mean, it was violent. And he's like, no way. So he turns around, he goes back. Sure enough, she still is. So we get into the club and we just go up to the balcony. And I kid you not, like 5 minutes later, all this like group of like 5 drunk girls comes over and they're like taking pictures with her dog and her. And she just got done. She might have still been going. I have no idea. But there's something about
The
drunk girls where
aftermath.
they have like this innate like urge where they have to take pictures with the dog. And it didn't matter. This mangy, like patchy looking dog with this girl, this homeless lady who's
They're
probably
getting pictures
completely delirious,
with a woman that's still
masturbating
oozing
in the street.
Yeah.
And they're taking pictures with their dog.
She's still like leaking, bro. Oh my god.
Nasty.
And this is in the streets of Tampa.
This is like literally in the street.
Welcome to Florida.
Tampa's
yeah.
finest. And
Oh,
was this
yeah.
just was this like a regular night? Was this a Friday night? Was this a weekday?
It was like Thursday or Friday or something. Like we weren't even planning on doing anything. Like we kind of like ended up partying on accident. Like we were like, we just started walking down the street and we like went to one of these cigar bars, and then we walked out because they were closing, and we saw a big line, and we're like, well, there's music and a line. It must be fun. So let's go get in line. And then we ended up just staying at that club for like the next 4 nights. But it was great. I recommend it.
I'm down to get down there and get dirty.
Yeah. Because we went to Daytona Beach for 3 days and then Tampa for 4. But Daytona Beach, I was looking forward to it. You know, I'm going to be on the beach. It's like bike week was like the next week. So pre-COVID, there would be like 500,000 people who like come to Daytona Beach for bike week. But
Like motorcycles?
nobody. This is what people don't think about. On the Atlantic side, the beach is just lined with resorts. By 2:00, there's no sun.
Yeah, wait. That's true.
It's terrible. So like obviously it wasn't that hot there at like this time of the year. So like there's no sun and it's 68 degrees. Like what are you gonna do?
There's probably so many resorts down there in Florida. I just realized that. Like,
Oh, it's crazy. But so then when we went to
Hotels.
Tampa's like not on the beach, it's in the bay. But then like 30 minutes away is Clearwater, which is like a great beach. And there, you know, you have the sunset and everything there because it's on the west side of Florida. Like that's the place to be. Like everybody thinks like Miami and like Orlando's landlocked. Like it kind of sucks. Like why would you want to live in Florida if you're not by the beach? Like you're landlocked.
true.
Yeah.
In the middle of Florida, like, what are you doing there? You just melting?
Yeah. It's just like a wet like marsh. Like that's
You
terrible.
live in a swamp, bro.
You do live in a
Are you
swamp.
Shrek?
Yeah, the only there's Disney World and an airport.
That's literally it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
You land there just to go to the beaches. Like that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. But Tampa, man, I could totally do that. I went to that place when I was like 14 or 15 for like one night. Like we were in the area and I don't know, like look it up on like Yelp or something. Like it's like a travel destination. And I just remember like walking down the streets, little 14, 15-year-old me going, man, I'm gonna come back here one day when I'm 21. This is just, there's something here. It's awesome.
Is the fashion like I imagine it? Is it like, you know, jean shorts, wife beater combo, or what are we talking?
No, I mean, it was interesting. Like you would have like the frat boy like look, like a lot of khaki shorts and polo shirts.
Why not?
Patagonia, man, Patagonia everywhere. I told one person there, I'm like, man, this like really bothers me that I look like a lot of the people here.
Like Pacific
I was like,
Northwest
man,
people.
I look like so many of these people. Like this,
Yeah.
I gotta do something.
You gotta do something. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, there's a lot of that because like the colleges and whatnot around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of people like look the same. Like everybody kind of like dress the same and stuff down there. But yeah, we didn't get carded once. It made no sense at all. We didn't even get carded at Buffalo Wild Wings when we were watching the fights.
Damn. How was flying? I'm curious. Like, how was your experience flying?
Well, I mean, I've flown quite a bit.
COVID.
With COVID, well, I've had to fly quite a bit with COVID. Yeah, I mean, I just try to fall asleep with that mask on.
Right.
pray just people just leave me alone, that they don't wake me up because it's like below my nose or something on accident. Like,
yeah, you just pray.
I just pray people mind their own business. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like I hate. Like I've flown so much. Like I get on that plane, I put my earbuds in, and I make believe I'm asleep, so I don't have to like listen to the speech, or you don't have to like just leave me alone.
Yeah,
like, I've heard this a million times. You don't gotta act like you really care. Like
just your life. It's just your life or something.
Yeah, like this just blob of like some like this guy right here is not gonna be the one to save us because he's by the emergency exit. If this plane's going down, we're all doomed anyways. Like
you already have my money, all right?
Yeah,
like, I'm already in the birds. Let's get it.
Let's just go. Like I just was like, if I was a flight attendant, like I could see myself on a bad day just being like how many people here? Like a show of hands, how many people have heard this speech already? Like, all right, I don't need to do this and like put a smile on my face. They are the worst actors ever.
Flight attendants?
Yeah, they're the worst actors ever.
Dude, they don't have any training, man. Give them a break.
No, and it just is uncomfortable. You can just see the pain in their face. And just like oh man, with like COVID, like because there's so many people just like your mask comes below your nose like just all the time. And like they come up and like ask you to like pull it up, like you have a choice. Like it's very funny, but it's just the way they have to go about it. Like they ask you like you have an option.
Can you please pull up your mask?
Yeah. They're like,
will you
please supposed to have your mask on over your nose, and they'll say it over like the intercom because like half the plane to be like asleep and like people got their mask below their nose. Like, we would just like to remind you that your mask needs to be above your nose. Like, oh, I forgot. My bad.
Oh, dude, it's only been a year in the pandemic.
11 months, like, I didn't know you have to put your mask above your nose.
I
like,
didn't even know what a mask was.
Yeah.
Wait, mask?
Like, we're only all in the same air pocket here in the sky, so
It's not gonna
wonder-
matter anyway.
I wonder if anybody was like put in a coma in like January or February of last year and they like just woke up. You know what I mean? Imagine
Imagine getting like out of prison or something.
Just
Well, I
like
mean, prison, they know.
prison.
I'm
yeah.
sure.
They have the news in there. I mean, that's just fucking. They don't have blankets on their eyes the whole time.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that like prison inmates are getting like the COVID vaccine before like a ton of people.
really.
Probably because it's gonna spread in there. Fucking.
There was
all of them.
St. Louis. There's like a riots or like prison riots in St. Louis. Because
Really?
they're like, they're being mistreated for the during the pandemic. None of them are getting any trials or anything like that. Like, they're being basically forced to be stuck in prison because like they can't get out because there's a pandemic.
So, like, people are supposed to be getting out of prison. They're like, you can't go out there. Like, there's COVID.
They're like,
There's rapists in here.
they're like, we can't get you in. Like, there's COVID. We can't get you a court date. And they're like, what the fuck do you mean? Like,
They're like waiting, like they didn't like post bail or nothing. Like they're just waiting.
Yeah,
for
and they have like a
terrible.
It's in St. Louis. They have like a rule for like no like cash bonds or something like that either. Or, like no cash bail. Some weird rule. So they're like, people are fucked.
That's
and they're
tough.
just stuck in prison. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the videos of like some smashing windows, and I didn't really know what it was about, but that seems crazy. What's going down?
Yeah, that's what that was about.
In Kansas City. Yeah. What the fuck? Did you guys see Ian Rappaport cry on TV? Oh my god! I'm about to show. Why? I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you're really a sports guy.
Yeah, not really. I know who Ian Rappaport is because I used to think he was Michael Rappaport's brother.
A little background: like recently, some DMs leaked of him and Kevin Durant, and like it was really vulgar. Like they were both kind of in the wrong.
On his personal account, though, right?
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Both of them. It wasn't.
No,
I think. Was it a birder?
No, it's Michael Rappaport, not Ian Rappaport.
I was gonna say Ian Rappaport's a professional.
Did I see Ian? I meant Michael. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. This makes a big difference. I know Michael.
Okay. Well, here. Let's watch this video because
that you've had time to really.
It's something, man.
Oh, it's been crazy. It's been tough. The last few days have been tough, have been crazy. I've gone out of the house and I get, sneers and I get finger pointing and I don't do good with sneers and snickers. And then I actually went to the dog park with my dog, and people that usually, say hello and even play with my dog, they don't want to play with my dog Wheezy. And then, I went to my coffee shop and they said, not today, Cupcake. And it's weird. It's like, why are you calling me Cupcake? And then I get online and social media and, I know I put it out there, but, people online have been so cruel and mean. And I have to say
that you've had time to.
Okay. Like,
This guy.
the first comment, I refuse to believe this is real.
Yeah, it's not real.
Like,
Michael Rappaport's one of the most like calloused human beings in the world.
Yeah, look at this guy's like act. It's like porn acting. Is what.
Got a flight attendant acting school.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of a good segue, huh? No, but holy shit! But like the whole, I think that even the text messages between the DMs between them, I don't. Now that I've seen this, it's hard to believe that those are not fabricated or fake. Right?
That guy.
I think what Kevin Durant said definitely is true, but if you see what even started it, Michael Rappaport was like, Didn't he call him like a bitch? Like, you need to stop crying like a little bitch or something like that.
Yeah, but he was just trying to get under his skin. Like, it's simple.
He's playing 3D chess. He can't even see the board. No, if you all you gotta do is go on YouTube, watch it, look up like Michael Rappaport funniest like moments, and all you gotta see is that he turned off that camera, he started laughing his ass off.
And even
like,
Skip Bayless.
He's pulling that off on like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless is like
so funny.
Just trying not to laugh.
Oh yeah. You know he called up like 4 of his New York buddies after that.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't believe what the fuck I just did.
Yeah, hey, listen. I just fucked it up on this Durant guy. There's absolutely no way he's got an upper hand on me now.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
it's just-
Kevin Durant, he's digging himself a deep hole if he's trying to get into it with Michael Rappaport. That's a losing battle. You can't win.
I feel like athletes and comedians are two completely different sectors of fame and media that you just can't touch a comedian.
Yeah.
They will say whatever they want.
Who you are, you can't touch a comedian because they will just run circles around you. It's terrible. Like when Chris D'Elia and Logan Paul got into it on Twitter that one time.
I mean, anybody in Logan Paul, dude.
Yeah, for real. He's better than Jake Paul, though. Jake Paul, I will watch that press conference with Ben Askren. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, when they're like...
Jake Paul's so bad. He doesn't even do a good job at trying.
Yeah, it's pretty cringe. Ever since they ever came out with anything, I've been against the wave.
I can make believe being a bigger asshole than him and do a much better job.
Yeah,
I would pay to see it.
He's a bad actor, man.
I would.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he wasn't on Disney Channel. Like, how is he not a Disney Channel like star? Is my question. He would be so good on that shit. All they do is like lie to little kids,
or at least like a really like the B League like kids TV shows. Like it's on like a local network.
like CW or something.
Yeah, Oxygen maybe. An Oxygen movie.
He's an extra in an Oxygen movie. Oh, that's terrible. Hallmark.
Just playing at fucking 11 a.m.
Yeah, he's got
on
one
a Tuesday.
He was an extra in a Hallmark like Christmas special.
He's the bully at the...
I just hope that he doesn't beat Ben Askren. It's not going to be a good fight either way because neither one is going to put each other out cold. And the only reason why this is happening is because like Nate Robinson got flatlined. Like if that fight goes any other way, if it goes to a decision with either one of them winning, like there's no hype behind them. Like all of this ends as soon as Jake Paul has a boring fight in which Ben Askren is like the perfect person for him to have a boring fight against. Yeah. Ben Askren could come out and look terrible and Jake Paul could still not look good and it would derail his hype train. He could win and it will derail this hype train.
It's just so ridiculous. Like these guys are Vine. Like they started on Vine and they're out here fighting. And I think it's because Ben Askren being a wrestler and what happened in Ben Askren's MMA career is that people actually think he might lose. They're like, this guy
is very possible. I just love what Ben Askren says about it. Like in every interview, he's like handled this so perfectly. Like that man, when it comes to media, he's undefeated. Like he can make you believe that he can win any fight, and he doesn't have to like try. Like he's been saying this entire time that it's entirely possible that Jake Paul is a great boxer. He just doesn't think that's gonna happen. He's like, it's entirely possible he's a great boxer. He's gonna go out there and beat me, but probably not. And he's honest. He's like, I got like the slowest twitch muscles in the world. Like, it's not gonna be a highlight reel knockout. Like and like the game plan's there. Like, there's training footage out of him. Like Ben Askren's probably just gonna go in there and try to make like piss off every Jake Paul fan there is. Like, just clinch and stall and make the most boring fight possible.
When's this fight?
April 17th. Oh God, that's like next weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 11 days.
Oh man, I'm not gonna watch it, but I'll,
maybe watch the highlights.
I'm not gonna watch it.
I mean,
but,
dude, I feel like it's kind of entertainment because you can like
real
laugh
fight on people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
UFC fights or something. It is on a Saturday, probably.
Yeah. Triller. Why wouldn't need to watch a live stream concert? Then at the end of it, Jake Paul and Ben Askren try to box each other. That sounds terrible.
I mean, dude, come on. You don't like?
Don't they have like Snoop Dogg?
You don't like Snoop Dogg, man? Come on.
Listen, Snoop Dogg's funny in like that.
Oh my gosh.
In that for like about 15 minutes. But you don't want to watch an entire sporting event with Snoop Dogg commentating. Like the UFC tried that and it like failed miserably. Like it was funny the first time they did it. It was like, oh, this is like so unorthodox because Snoop Dogg's like a color commentator. And then afterwards, it was for like Dana White's Contender Series, like him and Uriah Faber would like sit down and do like commentary. But then after a while, it was just like so bad.
Oh my god!
It's like, all right, dude.
Like, but during the Darren Till and Tyron Woodley fight, like he posted a video on his Instagram of Tyron Woodley like smashing Darren Till on the ground, and he thought Darren Till was Colby Covington. So he's like yelling all like this, like fuck MAGA, fuck Trump stuff, and Darren Till's from Liverpool.
Oh no!
Like, come on, man! Like, you can't be getting paid to commentate the fights, and you think this dude's Colby Covington? Like,
see, doesn't even know who the fighters are.
No,
that's where like hiring someone like Snoop Dogg would be just a bad idea for commentating. Like, he's gonna forget what he writes down. He's probably smoking a blunt as he's commentating. Like, that's not.
Yeah, but so is paying Jake Paul to box. So
Frank Mir, old UFC fighter, he is on that card as well.
Yeah, but he's fighting like a legitimate world champion, former world champion boxing. Yeah, Antonio Tarver Jr. I think. It's not good.
It says he's fighting Steve Cunningham, unless this is old.
Wait, it must have changed because he was
posted yesterday.
Who's Steve Cunningham?
Well, that's good.
Who?
I don't know. So that's better.
But this is a musical guess. Justin Bieber, Diplo, the Black Keys, Doja Cat, Major Lazer are all expected to perform. Mount Westmore, a new rap group, features.
It's 104.7.
Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, E40, and Too Short are also scheduled to appear. Bizarrely, I have no idea who that is. Pete Davidson have been added to the commentary team.
Pete Davidson. Dude, it's just LA culture.
Fighting at Coachella.
What do I think of what?
I said, when did the YouTubers start fighting at Coachella?
I don't know. That's literally what this is. It's giant LA fest with pop culture and emphasize on the pop.
Yeah, like at this stage we got Bella Thorne and
we got BTS in there.
Yeah. Like it's only a matter of time before they start doing that. Like, have you heard of Skank Fest?
Heard of what?
Skank Fest. It's a huge comedy festival. No. They do it in New York, but it's like it's crazy. It's wild. And they will do one night where they literally have like an MMA card with comedians fighting each other.
So you're saying like, oh my God. Like, okay, I've got to see videos of this. That's a thing.
You can look up Luis J. Gomez fighting one of his I think he was an intern.
An intern.
Yes.
Oh,
but they do like karaoke night with like the comedians. So there's a video out there of Joey Diaz singing "Killing in the Name of" at this comedy festival. But yeah, they would do MMA fights.
Dude, have you seen Street Beefs on? Dude, that shit's so good. Some of those are just like, I love the ones that are short-lived, you know, like they're just inexperienced fighters that are just don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they're going out with their heart. It's all hard, you know.
Yeah, where are those guys? They gotta be in like the Northeast or something.
Yeah, I think it's like Virginia or Carolina or something. Carolina, I think it's Carolina, north or south.
That would make sense.
But yeah, it's.
What are you guys talking about?
There was like controversy because the one guy who ran the account like lost a fight, and he was like making up a bunch of excuses. Like it's
beefs.
You've never seen street beefs? Do you want me to show you a short street beef real quick?
I sure, yeah. Pull some up. Yeah, I might have seen it, but I mean,
dude, listen.
It's probably good to see no matter what, you know.
Listen, man. I think we can definitely show this on Twitch. I've watched it on Twitch.
Yeah, I definitely think I've seen some of this.
Street beef boxing. No, let's watch some MMA, dude. Baby Hulk title match versus Viking. Yeah,
they got some great names.
Let's do this.
This is where people earn their shot.
This is where people get into the UFC, baby.
These are real fighters. They don't need a production crew or a cage.
But I think they have both.
Real fighter can fight without training.
Baby Hope, Wilmington, North Carolina, Port City Sports Performance, Salty Dog Jiu-Jitsu. I left something while
Salty Dog Jiu-Jitsu.
I'm the Viking fighting out of Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Now, what's it take for something to get like this to get set up in Albany?
And the return.
Just a backyard and some hillbillies.
Yeah, I was gonna say a backyard.
We got Baby Hulk. Y'all may remember this man. He's out pursuing
backyard and some gloves.
I got time to come back to the yard for a little bit.
I got those same gloves, I think. No, I don't.
Hey, do you remember?
And in this corner,
oh, dude,
we got our microweight champion.
Hold on, I'll bring it up after this.
Microweight.
He's 5-0 in Satan's backyard. You say, fellas, fight hard.
Say Satan's backyard.
Why is he so? That's what they call it. Satan's backyard, dude. Just look at, dude. This ref is. I can't with him. Man.
Oh yeah, he loves his job.
He loves it. And he's so. I feel like he's bad at it. He just doesn't know what he's doing.
He'd probably get really emotional if you told him he's not a real referee.
He probably would. He's like, well, you're not a real fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
You mean I listen to all John McCarthy's podcasts?
See, this weight difference is funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! Can you imagine being thrown into some fucking plywood?
Splinters as they're sliding against it, dude.
It's not even partially broken either, just straight plywood.
Yeah. I love this referee. He's the best part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Wrap around the arm, wrap around the arm, wrap around his arm.
Get it.
The ground and pound?
Oh my goodness. Is it just me? Do I feel like getting slammed on the grass hurts more than like a mat?
Yeah.
For some reason, there's something about the earth.
There's less give, probably, yeah. Less give.
Nice, okay. Yeah, nice, just like that. There you go, Dave. Nice, ready for him to come in. Control.
This guy just took the L by laying here.
God bless these guys. They're really out here doing it, though.
I know. I like. And there's so many of these fights. They probably have like.
I know. It's
thousands.
crazy.
I don't know how.
Oh.
Watch the rabbit.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be there.
Wait, these guys are actually good though. These guys are actually not bad.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, honestly, like it's better than most not most amateurs, but there's a lot of amateurs who fight in actual promotions that are not nearly as good as these guys. I mean, it doesn't even matter though. When you're at this level, like this is fine.
Yeah, you're just fighting to get recognized, really.
Hands up. Underhook. There you go. That guard.
This Baby Hulk guy or whatever. Wait, what's his name? Baby Hulk, right?
Yeah, Baby Hulk.
He's just got more power.
Yeah, he does.
He's quicker.
Dude, oh my gosh. This guy is not certified
Yeah,
at all.
he just broke his ribs.
He just looked over at, like, should I call it? Should I call it?
Come on now!
That guy,
He's like, yeah, I took it out.
from what I see, he probably did like taekwondo or karate when he was younger,
Good fight, gentlemen.
and
Much respect.
he got back into
winner
fighting
and new.
because all he did, he threw a lot of flashy kicks. And he kept his hands really low,
Good fight.
and then he just got taken down. He didn't really do much anything else,
Yeah.
which don't work too well.
No.
There actually is something like this that was happening in Albany
Where? When?
9 years ago. Look up 541 legit throwdowns. I knew there was something
is this on
like
YouTube?
this. Yeah, I knew there was something like this. I remember seeing this in like middle school, bro.
541 legit throwdowns.
Look at this, dude. 3K views. Click that one with 3K views.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Yeah, there's literally wow. Wow. Wait.
I want to see this.
Wait.
Now they're not out of Satan's backyard, are they?
We'll see. I mean, hopefully they have an announcer. Oh, no announcer. Just get
This is definitely South Albany.
Oh yeah, this is the backyard of South
Yeah.
Albany.
Dang.
How many
This is 9 years ago. Oh, no.
Clobbered. Homies afterwards. He keeps saying that.
When your homies get some MMA gloves.
Yeah. No, they're just boxing. I'm not sure I'd want to do that with like 4-ounce gloves. It's not much different than just a bare fist.
Yeah, that's.
Jeez,
oh my.
this is it.
Relax, chill for a little bit if you have to.
He just got clocked.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough to come back from that, but he's resilient.
Oh my god, my head would be spinning.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely gonna have a headache tomorrow. Maybe for 2 days.
Oh.
Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up.
At this point, you just gotta. Hopefully, you have a mouthpiece in, and you just gotta bite down on it and just get in there.
I hope they have mouthpieces.
Yeah,
in.
they do. Well, one of them does at least. Yeah, they both do.
Oh, no way! You're kidding me.
Wake up.
Wait.
These are some bad friends.
Wait.
Homies afterwards.
Boom, right hook. Oh!
On the button.
No way.
Right here. Oh my.
Always afterwards.
Always afterwards.
They're like, dang, that was crazy, bro. He's still out of it. Like, he's not even remember this, or he didn't remember this.
Get out slowly. Hey, chill on it. Chill right there. Chill right there.
Yeah, it was kind of disturbing to watch it afterwards, but damn.
You know what? When I would travel places, I would always think to myself, like, I love Oregon and I enjoy the Willamette Valley, but there really isn't much like to be like, we can't really claim much here. but not now. You know, street fight video out there.
Yeah, that's got 3K views. You know what I mean?
I don't know. There's a lot of shitty street fight videos on YouTube, but you know, I'd be like, yeah. You ever heard of 541 legit throwdowns?
That's where we grew up. That's where we
Albany's
grew
got
up.
some clout.
Yo, do you see that guy? They were throwing down, man. And that guy came back for seconds and got knocked the fuck out.
We got Gary the Retard and 541 legit throwdowns.
Gary? Yeah, I bet that was his name.
Yeah, Gary the Retard from Howard Stern.
I literally don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna get a beer. I'll be right back.
Yo, you don't... Los, do you know who Gary the Retard is?
Let me, I don't want to say yes. Let me double check.
Oh, you never seen his spelling bee between him and Beetlejuice?
No.
Him and Beetlejuice have like a battle of wits. I believe that's where that clip of him trying to spell red is from. You gotta look up Gary the Retard, Beetlejuice, battle of wits.
Is vulgar? Is it sound?
Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, I mean, I don't know if it's vulgar.
I guess nothing too bad.
No, I mean, not any worse than like some poor kid getting knocked out cold with in a backyard.
Okay, cool. Yeah, not any worse than blood. All right, cool. We're good.
Yeah, not any worse than brain damage.
Yeah. Okay. Jesus. Wait, did you look it up?
I was not expecting that.
Bros?
You know, it was a good video, but they should have. You know what? Those guys really could have made it if they would have like put some tags or captions in it better.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of poorly developed. Like, let me look again. When was the 10 years ago? Yeah, see,
like Street Beef.
2011.
I feel like that's why they're popular. They put some bullshit titles out there. They're like, crazy MMA fight, and it's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, crazy first round knockout. It's like,
kids
dude,
like laying down on each other because they smoke Black and Milds all day.
Right. And they trained for a month at the gym.
Yeah, trained for a month.
There's actually a lot of videos here. I think this channel's got Killatai 93. Oh my good god. Yeah, there's probably like 10 videos here. With throwdowns. 541 legit throwdowns. Yeah, the title. It's the title is literally the same for every single one of them. So,
well, we should reach back out to them and find them because right now with COVID and everything, there's no fights going on in Oregon. They could take that stuff underground and
yeah, they could create a fight club out of
really
that.
make something out of themselves.
Although they probably have families now, if you think about it, Wyatt.
Do you think they have families?
Those kids looked probably our age.
You know what? I bet
right
you
now?
some of them. I bet you some of them had families in that video.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, some of those people recording, maybe. I think the kids that were fighting probably like early 20s. They could have, yeah. But why would they be? No way, dude. They're just like hitting each other's chins. They have a kid at home. Like, what are they doing?
So reckless. This is the thing people don't realize about like street fighting is it is so dangerous. And people don't understand like how easily you can get messed up for life in a stupid street fight. All it takes is some dude who doesn't know anything just winging punches to the back of your head, turn you into a vegetable, or you just trip and fall and hit your head on the concrete.
Yeah, especially like outside. That's a whole different thing too. Like some dude's you're gonna fall or something and hit your head, get stabbed in the face by a pole.
It's this week. I think actually yesterday there was an amateur kickboxer who died from a head kick.
Yeah, it's all about decisions we make, you know? Do you want to be a vegetable? Do you want to be a piece of asparagus today? Or do you want to be normal?
Like, you know, you can't trust somebody like you get into like some altercation, some drunk dude to like stop hitting you when you're down. Or, like you just see the videos of like people like soccer kicking other guys. Like that's the worst. Like that's I hardly watch. Like I don't like enjoy watching street fight videos.
I used to actually like it, and I don't know why. I literally don't know why I used to like it, but I agree with you now. Like it's hard to watch. Some are like entertaining for a second. I'm like, oh, and then I see like the violence. I'm like, dude, why do I even watch this? Like, I see like the body impact.
Is I always talk about this like when I'm talking about like other sports, because I like really don't like watch anything other than like just like combat sports, and I always tell people they're like, because not a lot of people like most people don't know that like the UFC's on practically every weekend. Like they think like it's like the old days where it was like once every 2-3 months. Like Chuck Liddell's fighting.
Chuck Liddell's fighting. All right.
This is the funniest thing. This is the funniest thing that always cracks me up. People will be like, "Oh, what are you doing this weekend?" I'm probably just gonna sit at home watch the fights. Oh, who's fighting? Like they know anyways. Like
like they know who's in the UFC.
Like, I'll be like, I'll tell them one guy's like, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I could have told you that. Why bother? Like, you don't have to ask me. Like, just out of courtesy. Like,
well, because maybe they know a mainstream. Like, what if it was McGregor? You know, then maybe they'd know. Or like maybe, let me think of it more mainstream.
Now, when people say that,
that's the only reason why they ask.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, they think they're like, oh, is Conor McGregor fighting?
Dude, it's kind of weird.
Who's fighting? Not McGregor, so you probably won't be interested.
Yeah,
because as of late, he's just been mediocre, from what I've heard.
Well, I wouldn't say he's mediocre. I'll just say he got his ass beat by a better fighter.
Well, that's what I mean. Like lately, it's just like not so good for him.
He's still good. I still think him and Dustin's a 50-50 fight, even after Dustin knocking him out. I still do.
You will be nice.
I don't know. I might go.
Are they gonna? I hope that they settle the shit in Texas. That'd be sick.
In Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas.
Yup, with fans as of right now.
At T-Mobile.
Yup, and I'm waiting for the ticket prices. But dude, I'm thinking I'm gonna fork out the change and go see it. Cause paid in full, baby.
When did you get that?
Huh? I got that in Florida.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, so wait, can we see it? Can you get closer to the camera with it?
Yeah, I can get closer to the camera.
Oh my gosh.
Paid in full.
Yeah.
Man.
That is so sick. The cutting tee as well. That is sick.
Yeah.
Was it an impulse decision, or
so it kind of felt like it, because it definitely, like, when he like knocked out Conor, like that was probably the most hyped I've ever been during a fight. Like that, when Henry Cejudo came back and beat Marlon Moraes, and then when Stipe came back and beat DC in the second fight, and then when when Dustin knocked out Conor, those were the 3 times where I lost my mind.
Yeah.
And I had always like thought about it. I always wanted to get like, just like a diamond Dustin Poirier tattoo. And so once that happened, I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. And then so I got like another one. And then like afterwards, he's like, so where do you want this one? I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want it anymore. Like, blah, blah. It's kind of crazy. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I was like, I don't even care.
You don't even care.
Paid in fucking full.
Not gonna regret it.
Yes, sir. Now you have to watch Fight. Have you heard of Fightville? Do you know what that is? So it's this documentary that came out. Oh man, a long time ago. I think it came out like right when Dustin got into the UFC. So he was like 20, 21, 22. He was 21 in the documentary. But basically it's just down in Louisiana, and it follows a ton of like these amateur fighters, and Dustin's like the main one that they follow. And it's just crazy to see like how far he's like came. Like you're literally watching him like just scrapping with like these other like just scrubs, and like going to these fights at rodeos and stuff, and just like everything like behind the scenes
fights,
and like it's like follow his journey of him like going pro. Wow. And he's 21 and he's just knocking all these people out. He's like, fighting like once a month. It's crazy. And then just to see like where he's came from, and a lot of like when you see him like talk about stuff in the documentary, like talking about like being a world champ and all that stuff, and then like seeing it now, like it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's that inspiration. I feel like watching a story like that, you're like, oh my god, I kind of want to be a fighter, even though I don't have the capabilities.
It's one of those where I bought it just because like if I'm not doing anything, or I'm just like lacking like motivation, or I just feel like I don't know, like I'm just in like a weird space, I'll just watch that and I'm just like, man, time to get after it.
Yeah,
time to get back in the zone.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I'll have to watch it. I've been watching a lot of fights lately. I've been really just kind of watching a lot of old fights and kind of getting familiar with fighters that are going on right now.
Yeah,
that's been like my jam the past month. Just literally, I feel like that's all I've watched is just like UFC. Every time I try to watch something else, I'm like, man, this isn't as exciting as somebody getting their head knocked off.
No, it's really not. Like that's what I tell people. I'm like, man, like I've not seen a sporting event that has captivated the way like a great fight has.
And like with other sports, I don't know. It's like with fighters, different weight divisions have just like there's so much talent in each, at least the top 5 to top 10. Like there's a lot of good talent, and some divisions are super stacked, and it's like trying to understand like this person could fight this person and they could put them in this position, and it's like everything that I enjoy about basketball and football, but it's one person
year round too. It's year round.
Yeah, it's all the time.
Yeah, there's no season. Basically, every weekend, like every once in a while, they take a week off. Like this last weekend, they didn't have a card, but I believe they have one coming up this weekend. But it's I mean, it's crazy. I watch a ton of fights too, and the UFC does a very good job of posting fights like in the weeks leading up to a fighter fighting again. Like they'll post like one of their best fights. And there's some great, and just throughout COVID, like they posted so many fights just cause like it's great. Like, yeah, I find myself watching the two fights I always find myself watching over and over is Dustin and Max 2, and then Colby and Usman. Man, I've watched those two fights so many times.
That Colby and Usman fight is definitely one that I go back and I've watched a couple times in the past couple weeks just because it was so good.
Yeah, I was one time I was a little stoned and I was watching and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch Max and Dustin fight again. And just the first round, I'm like sitting there and it was like scaring me. I was like, this is so violent. I was like, why are they trying to hurt each other so bad? Like both guys like looked like they could have been like on their way out, like in that first round. It was the most violent 5 minutes like ever.
Guys just swinging on each other.
Yes, just bleeding on each other. I mean, man, it's crazy.
Just a bloodbath.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, when I think about like when I think about sports, like I don't know, like yeah, obviously like the sport aspect of it, like I like look at like boxing like more as a sport, and I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy it as much because I just feel like with the more like sport it is, like the more politics like involved in it, the more like rules and like stuff like that. But like I can like appreciate other sports, but like for me, like when I think about like the Olympics and then like MMA, like I feel like that's like just the how do I put this? Like showcasing like maximum human potential. Like I feel like for a weight class like that's like and like that's like the most like capable human being at survival at like for their given size. Yeah. And then in like the Olympics, like those just like whether it's like sprinting
It's like the beginning of humanity. There was, just a caveman or a monkey.
Yeah.
And now we have Olympic athletes.
Olympics.
Now we have Usain Bolt, who runs faster than a Tesla. And, it's just crazy.
Like, if shit were to hit the fan and, like, I don't know, all structure and, like, governments disappeared, Francis Ngannou would be a king.
Yeah, you're damn right.
like Francis Ngannou, like, comes in and you try telling him, like, what to do. Like, he's got that cheat code and he's just going to put you to sleep.
Welcome
to the kingdom.
Unfortunately, he's got a physical attribute that's just unbeatable.
Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. Like,
do you think I do want to just ask you this, since that was the most recent thing that's happened, do you think anybody can actually beat Francis?
Do I think anybody? It's hard to say, right? It's tough because it's so recent. I mean, can anybody beat Francis? Yeah. I mean, Stipe on the right night could beat Francis. I mean, John Jones, it's tough. John Jones on the right night could beat Francis. Like, there's guys who possess the skills to beat Francis, but that doesn't matter. It's similar to Deontay Wilder. Everybody he's fought has always been a better boxer than him, but it doesn't matter. Only one guy's ever beat him. So Francis, I can't think of anybody right now who's going to beat him. I think there's guys who stand a chance, who can make it somewhat competitive or at least interesting. Obviously I think Stipe, it's tough, it's tough. He'd have to make a few changes, but I don't think that fight happens again. I'm curious to see if Stipe even fights again.
Yeah, I don't know.
He might have one more fight and he'd be done. Like, I always felt that after his next loss, like whether it was to Francis or whether it was to John, that he would retire afterwards. But he might have one more fight, and depending on how that goes, he may retire. I mean, Derek Lewis, I don't see Derek Lewis beating Francis because Derek Lewis you watch all of Derek Lewis's fights, he loses until he wins. But you can't absorb strikes with Francis. Like, just putting your guard up and backing up into the fence until they stop throwing punches doesn't work with Francis. Like, you will go to sleep.
That is an elite specimen.
Yes, he is. John Jones, I mean, obviously, you can't, like, John Jones's ability to, I guess, solve a puzzle. Like, that man, when it comes to, like, fighting, like, his brain is his biggest weapon. Like, some people have knockout power in wrestling, but John's brain is his biggest weapon. He can solve any puzzle, like, real time. He could lose a round, come back out, and then dominate the rest of the fight. There is one guy, though, who he may be able to. It's an interesting matchup. He's got the size and skills. Cyril Gain. He's about Francis's size.
Is it? He's about to fight, right? They just scheduled.
Yeah, I think he's fighting Volkov.
Yeah, they just. I feel like I saw something. They just scheduled him to fight.
Yeah, and his last fight was kind of a snooze fest, but he's just. I mean, he was fighting a guy. He was fighting Biggie Boy, who's another, one punch knockout artist, and he was just smart the whole fight. Like, he never did anything wrong. Like, there was never Jairzinho never had any moments in the fight. Like, he just fought a perfect fight. He's just like, he's as big as Francis, but like a rangy kickboxer. He's hard to hit. That being said, I mean, Francis just has to hit him once. But that's an interesting fight that will probably happen. They did offer Francis Derek Lewis for June, but he said no, too soon.
Yeah.
So I think Francis. I think we'll see that Cyril Gane and Francis fight probably within a year, because I think he will beat Volkov. Volkov's great, but I don't. Francis. Francis would just plow straight through him. It wouldn't matter.
And that's when things get dicey in the UFC, is when there's somebody at the top that's just way more dominant than anybody. Like, obviously, it's fighting. People can get knocked out one hit and you're done. But there's a few.
If there's anybody who could go on,
very
if there's anybody right now who could go on and be one of the most dominant champions of all time, it would be Francis. It'd be Francis.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Seriously, it'd be Francis. I mean, all he has to do is just because here's the thing, he's just gonna get better. He doesn't like if Francis could have been the UFC champion if he never got better. And now he's a champion and he's only going to get better. Like this man could beat everybody in the heavyweight division if he never got better.
How tall is this man?
I think Francis is 6'4". Is he? Or he may be bigger. But he's every bit of that heavyweight limit and just all muscle.
Yeah, he like has to cut weight.
Yeah. I mean, he beat everybody he fought except Stipe, and he didn't have like any sort of like he really wasn't training. He didn't have like the structure around him that most fighters do. You know, with like their nutrition and everything. Like it's like similar like Usman. Like, man, Usman, he's another one of those guys who could go on to be like one of the most dominant champions because that guy gets so much better every time he fights.
That's why we need to see him run it back.
Yeah, we do. We do. That's the thing though, is man, I just don't know if Colby's getting as good as Usman is. It's tough.
Yeah.
Because Colby, he's not at the same gym he was anymore. He's not being active. Like nobody really knows what he's doing. Like he does a little bit of media, but for all we know, like everybody knows he's just waiting on the Usman fight.
And when you're a champion too, it's like you're training for a 5-round fight all day, every time. Like when you're going in to train, you're the champion. Your next fight's gonna be 5 rounds, so you're putting in a whole different type of training.
It's interesting. There's a lot of. I mean, it's gonna be great. It's.
This next like month is gonna be really, really good.
The UFC, like I said the other day, like the UFC's been acting weird ever since Khabib retired, and it's true. Like, all right, Nate Diaz is coming back and fighting Leon Edwards in a 5-round co-main event, like the first 5-round co-main event ever against Leon Edwards. Like I would have never ever expected Nate Diaz to take that fight. Nate Diaz is so unpredictable though because he either doesn't fight somebody. He won't fight you if he doesn't respect you as a fighter, but he also won't fight you if you don't have a name. Leon Edwards doesn't really have a name. Like he's got a name like in the MMA community, but nobody on the street knows who he is. But so he must respect him as a fighter enough. And they probably offered him the Leon Edwards fight. Like they offer Nate fights all the time, and he just turns them down. They probably offered him the fight, and he was like, "If you make it 5 rounds, sure." And they're like, "Okay." And he was like, "Well, shit, I guess I got to fight now." He probably just said it as like a,
Well, he just got called out by he just fought. I fucking was just talking about it. I can't remember, but the last fight that happened, somebody called him out. The dude who beat Tyron Woodley.
Oh, Vicente Luque.
Yeah, Vicente Luque called out
bloodbath.
Called out Nate Diaz. But then it's like he's fighting Leon Edwards. And that's going to be interesting because after the eye poke and everybody's been itching, like a lot of UFC fans and MMA fans been itching to actually see Leon Edwards in a full fight.
Yeah. The lightweight division's also very interesting right now because you have Oliveira and Chandler fighting for the belt, which is more of a number 1 contender fight than it is for the belt. I mean, really, Oliveira versus Dustin is a fight for the belt, and we might not see that fight. I mean, it really depends on who wins. I mean, we could see Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor. We could see Dustin versus Chandler. Like, that's the tournament right now. Like the winner of those 2 fights is gonna whoever out of Conor and Dustin wins is gonna fight for the belt. And the UFC is better when Conor's not champion. Like he is good, as good as he is, man. He's just not good for. I don't think he's great for business.
He's good for his own business.
Yeah, he just holds things up, and it's very frustrating. Like Dustin knocking him out was like the best thing that ever happened for the UFC.
Yeah,
because they would have never let him retire. They would have never let Khabib retire if Conor wins that fight, and then they probably would give Conor. Yeah, it would have just been a mess. I don't even want to think about it. It would have just been a mess. And then if Conor loses this next one, he's done. He's not going to come back again. This is his last chance. It's literally all or nothing.
They'll offer him another big fight. They will. They'll offer him another.
He might do a Diaz trilogy. depending on how Nate's fight goes with Leon, and then that'd probably be it.
That'd be interesting.
But
I want to see Gaethje in the mix too. Gaethje deserves to be in the mix.
Gaethje and Chandler were supposed to fight. That fight, those contracts were like Gaethje was in training camp to fight Michael Chandler, and then woke up and saw that Michael Chandler's fighting for the belt. that would have been the fight to make. The fight to make would have been Dustin and Oliveira, Gaethje, Chandler, and well, Connor. Who knows? In a perfect world,
Connor versus Nate for the trilogy. There you go. All on one card, dude. Just stack it out.
Coop's just sitting here. You watch any fights, Coop, or you completely
a little bit. No, I'm following most of this. Like I'll be watching with Carlos every once in a while, and my friend Alex like always buys fights, and I got friends that love it, and I don't. I watch Street Beefs, so obviously I would like the professional shit. You know what I mean?
Well, it's getting bigger now. I feel like more people are starting to watch.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I used to watch,
but I also
when you were mentioning
COVID's a huge part of that. I think because it was really like the only thing on for a while. Yeah. Like that first pay-per-view they did like back with Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje was crazy.
Oh my gosh, man.
That was one of the craziest cards ever. And it was like, we hadn't seen anything for like 4 weeks.
The first like card back.
Yeah, because before the last one before that was in Brazil and they didn't have any fans. Like it was like the week of they decided like they're still going to do the fights, but no fans. And that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
back and forth.
It's been that was over a year ago. It's been over a year since I did like the first episode of my podcast, which is crazy to think.
I was about to mention, how's your podcast? What the fuck is up? Have you even posted?
I haven't done anything.
You haven't posted in weeks, my guy.
I know. I haven't posted in months. I've been back for 2 months. I haven't done nothing. I've been busy. Yeah. It's tough. You know, I might start doing just short ones, just like something. You know, it's a lot of work. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. I'm still like trying to get like settled in, like figuring out what I'm doing, like getting like starting like training again, and then just like work and
socialize.
You know, it's freaking tough.
How's
like
work? So what are you working like long hours, or what's your hours like?
Oh man, I've been working less than ever right now, but it feels like forever just because like the things I want to do, like I don't know, like it's a weird time right now because I don't feel like, I guess the things that I was into aren't what I was in before I left. Like I'm not really like, I'm not doing any like projects on the side. Like I'm pretty much just building for what I have to build at work. But I've kind of just like,
sorry.
Yeah. I'm not really like interested in doing like any projects on the side anymore. Like pretty much all I just want to do is just freaking train, man. But like, it's tough. I don't even get to do that consistently just because like work and like when, you know, conflicting schedules, other people and my schedules and that sort of stuff. Like it's, you know, it's very interesting.
What's the times that you can train?
So like, what's that?
What's the times that you can train? Like, I mean, is it like conflicting with
6 in the afternoon on the week, 6 in the afternoon on the week, 10 a.m. on Sundays when I'm the absolutely most tired.
Yeah. Like that's
like, I would love to be able to go out on the weekends.
Yeah. And you'd also like, I feel like for me, like training like that, I'd want to get it away, like done with in the morning. Like you have the most energy. Yeah.
That's exactly what I do. If I had like an ideal schedule, I would basically like work out in the morning and then go to work. And then as soon as I'm off work, go train at like 3 or 4 and then be done and just relax the rest of the afternoon. But instead I get up, I go work out at freaking like 6 or 5 in the morning, go to work, and then I come back and I'm like, have like that, like 1 or 2 hours in between when I get off work until when I go train. And if like, you know, I could take a nap, but like if I could just train 2 hours earlier and just relax the rest of the afternoon versus like get done training, get home, like get everything done, like in such a hurry, like wash my clothes, eat something, shower, and then get to sleep by a decent time so I can wake up, do it again the next day. It's such a grind. Plus, if I stay up, like, man, I'm such an old man. Like, I wish I could go out and like party. I wish I could drink. But if I stay up past midnight, I feel hungover. Like, I don't have to do nothing. If I stay up past midnight, I feel hungover.
Man, you are.
So like, no, let alone like try to like party and like enjoy myself, like balancing everything. It's, you know, it's difficult. I'm trying to get it figured out.
Your body sounds like that it's in really good shape. Like you got a good sleep schedule. You got 2 workout sessions.
Yeah,
Got
man.
your
when I
mind busy
freaking
with
try-
work.
Yeah, I try to stay after it. Like,
Los is grinding too, dude. Credit to Los. Everyone clap and chat for Los, dude.
Yeah, but this, I'll take it.
This man's grinding.
And then I hear this guy, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro. There's maniacs out there.
for real though, like, I mean, there's a lot of times where I sit down and think, like, I do not know anybody else who's doing the shit that I'm doing at this age. Like, this is way too much. This is ridiculous.
That was me.
That's insane. How do you feel
Yeah.
though? Like, how do
I feel?
I mean, it sounds like you feel a little tired, but like,
Yeah, physically great, mentally exhausted. And I need to find that balance.
you gotta find something that you can just like unwind on, just release.
Yeah, what do
For
you,
real.
What do you do to like what do you do if you just had time to sit on the couch? Do you like watch fucking Netflix or what are you watching? Is it just fucking
Nah, I haven't watched a TV show in years. The last show I watched was like Cobra Kai or something. Like, I haven't watched a series in forever. Most of the time, like, man, I would fill my free time like doing something else, but I don't know. Like, I have too much stuff to do. Like, I made like the mistake of when I was young of like committing myself to too much stuff and like never getting around to finish it. So like I bought a car that I'm like trying to restore.
I saw that, yeah.
So I've had that forever, which is so much work. That's a full-time job within itself. So like you try to train like full-time, like you're like a fighter or something, have a job and try to restore a car and like manage to like take care of yourself and have a social life. Man, it's freaking tough. Oh, and then you're like, I should do a podcast. Like,
yeah.
like if I could use a 30-hour day, like maybe if the sun didn't go down so early, I could get this stuff done.
Yeah.
I really wish we required less sleep. I
For
hear
real.
stuff like, people who only sleep only need sleep for a couple hours, but those people aren't training. They're not working out. They're not, they're like reading or writing books or something. They're taking a quick little nap, getting back to their writing or something. They're not out there exerting so much energy.
Yeah, exactly. And like man, if I don't like stay on top of things, like it slips like so quick. Like I didn't have time to meal prep on Sunday, and this week's just been like crazy. Like it's like very unstable. Yeah, like sometimes I have to remember too, like, man, like this shit's like not that serious. Like I can like act like I'm 21 for once.
Do you feel like that you just like will just fall into an abyss or something, or is there a reason why you just
Yeah, sometimes I
don't
tell
slack?
people, I'm like one manic episode away from shaving my head.
One.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't have time to like shampoo my hair. I'm just gonna shave it. I need every second I can get.
Well, dude,
Stopped showering months ago.
Yeah, for real.
when to keep the topic on your podcast, dude, when you came back and had that episode with Hunter and Jose, I fucked with that, dude. In the live shit, I'm telling you, you gotta keep doing that. Like that shit was fun.
Yeah. It was so much fun, dude. I loved having them on.
And even in the moment, like, yeah, I'm sure you guys had a blast. But watching was even greater. Like, I think what your setup is even is perfect for it. And me and Carlos are trying to fucking
my own place.
Yeah, me and Carlos are even trying to emulate that. Like, we're trying to do something like that. So
Yeah, well,
hopefully
like
it works.
what you guys see is good, but like what I'm looking at right now is pretty terrible. But yeah, I mean, once I get my own place, I plan on like having like just like a dedicated setup, because I'd also like to do like I'd say like more content like kind of oriented in like some of the stuff I'm interested in. Like maybe stuff about like woodworking once I get more like time.
Yeah,
Into, like, that
totally.
stuff, because
Like
there's so many like if I just made content, like there's so much stuff out there that is just not out there, or if there is, there's very few people doing it, and like
it's like a niche.
just who I am, I
market.
always feel like I can do something better. Like this flag, like people will be like, I saw someone like selling like wood flags on like the corner. They're stealing your business. I'm like, I'm not worried about it. Like mine's still the best one I've seen people make, and I can sell it for twice as much. So what do I have to worry about?
Right. And yeah, you could say exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll get there. I mean, right now, like certain things are just kind of on hold. But I think the video podcast is the way to go.
Yeah,
That's what Discord's so great for. I didn't realize how easy this is. Like, man,
dude, it's I don't even know how it's so easy, but I'm glad that because this idea originally came from a streamer that I watch. His name's Trainwrecks TV, and he does this exact same thing, but it's called the Scuffed Podcast, and it's live on Twitch, and he's got like 6 or 7. It's way more like high scale, like 6 or 7. He's sponsored by fucking Cash App. Like, dude, yeah, he's got like 6 or 7 people on the podcast at all times. They're all content because he's friends with everyone on Twitch. So there's like 30,000 viewer streamers on there all the time. He gets celebrity. He got TJ or oh fuck. He gets rappers. He gets Danny Brown on there.
TJX6, is that who you're talking about?
No, fuck. He's a Detroit rapper. It's T something. T Grizzly.
Oh, okay. TJX6 is like a meme rapper.
Yeah, he's from Detroit too, though. Now that you say that,
he is. You know who that is? Black Air Force One activity.
Yeah,
my roommate would always listen to that stuff.
He's a scammer. Yeah,
he is a scammer.
I've listened to
a page on Facebook to scam my granny.
I've listened to interviews of him just like exposing himself. It's hilarious. He doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, he just gift card scams and shit.
Yeah, I mean, hey, this is the perfect segue because I told you guys I got some stories. Okay. I was a part-time scammer.
Oh, what?
Really?
I was a part-time scammer. Like, yo, this is maybe not morally right, but I saw an opportunity here and I couldn't take it. Now, I'm not a bad person, but at the same time, like, certain things, like, you know, you just got to do. So I'm in... Oh, and I can talk about this now because it's out and I'm not going to get in trouble for it because anybody who could have got me in trouble for it has found out and has since like, I get like respect for it and it's pretty funny. Anyways, so I'm like just sitting there and did I talk about like sneaking food into my room and like things of that sort when I was here?
Not really. I didn't hear that side of it.
There's certain things that are you're just not allowed to do
in the army. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, like when you're in a like, trading status, which is like kind of dumb. So like getting food, and then another one is like nicotine. So for some reason, like the army, like you're not allowed to have like vapes or chewing tobacco or cigarettes. But in the Marines, every other branch you can, like when you get out of basic, but like when you're at your tech school, you can. But you can't in the army for some reason. So people would pay like some serious money for these things. And I would see them. And I had a friend actually send me some, like I was in quarantine and I had a friend send me like 12 puff bars, like the regular ones. Shout out Corbin Thompson. And what I did is I sent these Barbasol shaving cream cans that were empty to his house. And he put them in there and mailed them to me with like some other hygiene products. And I was like, I'm just going to save these for myself because I got 12. I'm like, I'm not going to get caught.
Yeah.
Until I realized, I was like, holy crap. Like, I just sold 10 of these for $40 a piece in a day. And I was like, this is crazy. I was like, these things cost like $15 bucks.
Yeah.
And so that was like in October. So now I'm coming home for the holiday soon and I'm just like on fire guard with my friend and I'm like seeing all this stuff. And I'm like, cause you know, people there are all stupid. So they get a little bit of money and they start thinking they're like El Chapo.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, and like me, like the competitive person I am, like I said, like I see these things and I'm like, I could do this better. So I'm telling my friend, I'm like, just wait, but I'm going to figure out a way to get like 100 vapes in during quarantine when we get back.
100.
And I go, and just wait, I'm going to sell these things for a crazy premium and nobody else is going to have anything because we're all in lockdown. And I'm going to be the only one in this building with these. And for 2 weeks, people aren't going to have a choice but to pay what I'm asking.
So what you're saying is you were a vape dealer.
Yeah, but I did
Vapes.
this so good. So
How much money did you make? Like,
I'll get to it.
oh my god, I mean,
So my plan was, so back in high school, you know, the place to get like bongs and stuff was DH Gate. You could get like a dab rig off DH Gate for $30. You can also get vapes on DH Gate. Whether or not they're real or not, who knows? Some people say they're real because the ones you buy anyways come from China, so who cares? But so these things are about, the regular puff bars are about like 2 cents a piece wholesale. But so like, but the thing was, is people were paying $80 for the Puff Pluses, which were like 800 hits. So I was like, I'm gonna get 100 of these, and I'm gonna sell them for $100 a piece. So I bought these bang bars that were like 3,000 hits a piece, and now I'm like, now I got to figure out. So originally, what I was gonna do is I was gonna buy the big thing Irish Spring and put all these vapes in the soap boxes, and then seal the plastic back up and ship it to myself when I was home on the holidays. But these things were so big it wouldn't work. So when I'm home, I go to a used bookstore and I buy, and I'm just like, I'm not even looking for books. I'm walking around there like asking me like, oh, can we help you find anything? And I'm just like, yeah, you guys have like a series of big books. So I find like these fantasy books, and it's like 6 books. They're all about like this thick, and it's a series. I'm like, this is perfect. So what I did, I bought all these books, I took them home, and I glued the pages together. And then, like the craftsman I am, I like screwed a piece of wood on both sides, and then with a jigsaw cut them out. And I fit like 20 of these vapes in each one of these books. And then I plastic wrapped them and sealed them with a heat gun so they looked brand new. And I put all these in a box and mailed them to myself when I was home for the holidays. So I get there, and about 2 days later, they got my package sitting on the table. And I was like, hey, can I like get my mail? And they're like, we'll go through it tomorrow. And I'm like, shit. I was like, I want these now. Like, because I know, like I was smart. Like, I feel bad for everybody there now because they can't get away with nothing. Cause I ruined it for them. Like, I was so good at everything I did. And, and so my friend was talking to this girl at the time, and he was like, just on the phone, he's like, hey, go see if there's a package that says for Walls on the desk. She's like, okay, sure enough it was. So she grabbed it, ran over, left it by the stairs, and I just grabbed this big ass box like this, and I just run up to my room with it, and I got the books. I secured them. Now I know that there's about like 20 to 25 vapes in each book, and they're sealed. So once I open them, I got to get rid of them all. And I know after this 2-week quarantine, we are for sure going to have like a room search, like a heavy duty one where they're going to flip everything and look for everything. So I can so my plan is the ones that were sealed, I was going to hide them in the day room with all the other books in the bookshelf and just leave them in there in case they had an inspection.
An idea.
So I was like, either I'm going to sell like half of these all right now before quarantine's over or not. I'm like balance, like, okay, either like get the word out that I got these things and sell them quick, or like sell them for more and possibly risk like waiting a search. So anyways, I sold like 10 the first night because I had told people that what I did. So I sold like 10 of them in the first night.
And they were just hyped for you, I assume. Like your idea, dude. I can't
they probably
imagine.
bought them just for the idea.
Yeah,
like, you pulled that off, I will take one.
You just pulled that off.
Well, I didn't tell people. This is
$150 tip, dog.
Some people. So here's what my price is. This is hilarious. Like I straight up hustled the shit out of people. So it was 1 for 100, 2 for 175, 3 for 250. But say, Los, like I got these vapes, and you go tell Coop that I got these vapes too, and you bring them to me, and he buys one for $100. I'll give you $10.
Dude, you're such a fucking scammer, dude.
So people were making money. So there was about 6 people selling vapes. They thought, but it was all me the whole time. They were just slinging vapes so they could get $10. But then I'd be like, you just buy 3 for $250 and get yourself $50. Like, this is the way to go. So I started moving these things so fast. And it was funny because, right, I would post the flavors I had available for the day because I pretty much opened a book a day.
You got a store,
flavors
bro.
available.
You got a mystery pack, bro.
I would have the flavors available. And then I'd be like, all right, I'm all out of these till tomorrow. And people would be like, who are you getting them from? Like, the people thought one of the instructors was supplying me vapes.
You?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
They thought like I had like a guy on the inside supplying me vape.
You were just pulling them out of your dictionary?
Yep, I would just unwrap a new book and then post what flavors I had. And I kid you not, like, because there were certain people who were in quarantine, right? They tested positive, but like we would have to like bring them the food, so they would have the food like catered like somewhat to the building. And so like they would, they'd be like, can I get 3? I'm like, yeah, I'll come bring it up to you at dinner. So I'd roll it up in a paper towel, put it underneath the plate, give them the food. This one person in quarantine, their room alone spent like $1,100 on vapes in 6 days.
Where are they hitting these? Like, what's the, like,
That's
are
nearly-
they just ghosting every hit? Are they like having to blow it out the window?
They are like $3.50 a piece. Like, so they're not that great.
That's nearly 2 months' rent for me, by the way.
Anyways, so I'm like, damn, I think I'm gonna get all these. I think I'm gonna sell all these things. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it. And so, yeah, sure enough, and like people were like, so like one person was like, how much for all of them? They're like, how much you got? I'm like, I was like, oh, enough. And they're like, how much? And I'm like, I was like, I didn't tell them how many I had. I'm like, you give me like $4,500 and I'll sell them all to you. I go, trust me, you'll make money. But they didn't realize like how many I had. They thought maybe I had like 20. So when I told them $4,500, they were like, holy shit. Like, there's no way. But I mean, I was the females were getting them, like everybody. It was ridiculous. Like, I don't like, it was so nuts. It was so nuts. So I get rid of all these, like 100 of them in 6 days.
Total profit?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. This man saying, oh yeah, it's like $350 for these, and I'm selling them for 100, something like that. 70. It's like $80 for. Like, dude, that's. Yeah, you're a scammer, man. You can't. There's no going back. You're just a scammer.
For real. Anyways, so my plan is I was going to bring the books back home with me and find somebody who wanted to do it again and send them like the 6 books for like $4,500. But nobody had the vision I did to like see it through. They didn't want to spend that like kind of money. So anyways, so I didn't care. So I was like, fuck it. Like, I'll just leave these books here. Cause I knew when they would like search our rooms. And so I'm like getting out of there. Like, I'm leaving today. And, I like some people new people moved into my room, and I just told them, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here that like get rid of or else you're going to get in trouble. So they brought it all out, but they didn't like put it away. And I shit, I'm at the airport going home, and they did like a room search and found all of them. And they were asking my roommate, like, what are all these books from? Like, who did this? What do you know about this? And he's like, I don't know nothing. He said they were getting pissed. Anyway, so
No, nothing.
yeah,
Nobody snitched.
Yeah, so this one girl I'm talking to, she's on staff duty at the battalion headquarters, and they got like my books there, like in the office, as like an example of like what to look out for. And our like senior instructors, like, they're like laughing about it, and he's like, you know about this? Like, you know about this? And they're like, whose room did you find him in? And they're like, oh, so and so. They're like, do you think he did it? And they're like, no. And he's like, you know who did? It had to be somebody who's smart. And me and this guy, like, we had kind of butted heads a little bit. Like, he just thought I was like a nerd or something at first, but like they slowly like kind of found out that like, yeah, I might have had like no hair and like glasses and like looked pretty nerdy, but I was not a nerd. Like, don't underestimate me. Like, and they figured this out, and he was like, it was him. Are you for real? Like, damn. That's pretty impressive, actually.
They're like, we're gonna actually have you work for the FBI.
Yeah, I can probably show you the stuff behind me of what exactly all I did. It was pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I had
That
fun there.
sounds like a screenwrite for a movie.
Yeah, but I did the smart thing. I scammed a bunch of kids and then I invested all that money. So one of these days, when I'm semi-retired, I'm gonna have to thank them for their nicotine addiction.
You throw it all into Bitcoin.
That sounds like a really good dude, Wyatt. I'm not even kidding you. That sounds like a really good idea that like maybe Seth Rogen or Michael Cera would like pick up in 2012. You know, like I feel like they might actually.
It was genius.
Yeah, it's just great. It'd be a great.
But I had a
comedy.
finesse for everything. I'll show you guys.
Well, I mean, like, are you an investor? Do you Bitcoin? Do you?
Yeah, a little bit. I started buying Bitcoin like a while ago. And I would just buy like $200 like every 2 weeks or something when I would get paid. Man, you can't see it.
Yeah, I think you're kind of
unfortunate.
frozen.
Your cam froze.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, crap. Oh, I know why.
Maybe I'm so.
Here, is that back?
No.
Dang.
Doesn't look like it, my friend.
Well, that's not good. I wonder what's going on.
Try turning off your camera and then
Turn it back on. It always works like that.
It's not going to work anyways. The camera wouldn't focus.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, I had pictures of the books and everything. But like, I had a finesse for everything there. I was getting like the last month I was there, because I was there for one more month, and like it was like a week of class, and then we were in the field for like a couple of days. Which I'll tell you about that. That was the worst thing ever. And I was just getting food every night, and like people don't think like it's a big deal, but like where I was, like it was a big deal if you were getting like food. Me and my roommates had a finesse for everything. So what we would do, I would order food and I would tell them to leave it by the dumpster, and I would take the trash, make believe I'm like doing some good deeds, and I'll take the trash out, dump the trash, put the food in the bottom of the can, and put the bag back over it, and then walk it back inside so it didn't smell. I'm talking like $100 worth of McDonald's, Panda Express every night. People would see me walking in with this trash can and be like, damn, Walls, like you've really like run this place.
Is it just like a high risk, high reward?
Were like catching on. Were like they were almost like they wanted to do it too. So it became a race who could get to the trash can first. So
Worth it.
I had a friend named Anderson. So like they would follow us in like alphabetical order, or like do accountability, like they show your ID, make sure like no one's AWOL. And he would go upstairs and he would grab the trash can and go lock it in his room before anyone else could get it. But people were too scared to do anything. But they'd always come up to me if they wanted something. They'd be like, "Yo, I'll give you money if you do this." I'm like, "No, like it's not worth it. Like, sorry, like I'm not really like friends with you like that. Like people think like just because we'll give them like money that you'll like get stuff for them." But I didn't care. But man, like we had a finesse for everything. It was ridiculous. My roommate did too. Eventually, I want both my roommates on my podcast, because one of them just has the craziest stories ever. He was the one who inspired me to pull off like that scam, because this guy had done so much and seen so much and could literally get away with everything, where I was like, oh, like it really is possible. Like I always like thought like this and I saw the opportunities, but I didn't really have like a partner in crime. Like my one friend, like he kind of got like hip to it, but it was like, you're like the new kid, you're the new people there. Like you try like getting away with shit real quick. Like you'll find out like, people don't really look out for you and stuff. But like my roommate, he'd been there. He was in AIT for 14 months. This poor guy, he got there. He got to Fort Sill from basic, tore his ACL. He was supposed to get stationed in Germany. He finally healed everything. And then he got stationed at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, the place where he's been stuck all this time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oklahoma, dude. It's just so ass. How could you?
Terrible.
Me and Carlos are thinking about going through, doing a North American, tour, and this summer, and going through the Midwest is probably our biggest challenge because we don't want to stop. We really don't want to stop.
Through Idaho,
yeah,
through Wyoming, Yellowstone, and then through South Dakota. Go through the Badlands.
I'm the smartest person on earth. No, that's exactly what I was. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Way to go!
I
did that with my grandma, and I thought it was going to be the worst time of my life. I'm like, I'm about to go on a road trip. My grandma during the summer, I'm going to be hanging out with my friends, and I'll tell you what, it was one of the best trips I've ever taken. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Like, it's just the North in general. Like the Midwest.
Yellowstone, crazy. South Dakota's great. Wyoming's got a bunch of cool places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll like it.
And we plan on going through the South and hitting Utah and all the fucking canyons down there. Oh, all the rocks.
I want to go to Zion National Park really bad.
Yes. Yeah,
ever since I played Honest Hearts Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas, dude. Oh my god.
That was another thing. I got it back in the Fallout when I was over there because I got my laptop and I spent so much on the weekends. All I do is just play Fallout.
Right on. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was good back before I started scamming for fun. Then it was hustling. Ain't no time for video games.
Yeah, before I was a scammer, man. Times were different.
For real. It was crazy. Honestly, it would be worth it for me to move there and just do that full time because I can make enough money to retire in like 2 years.
It sounds like it, bro. It's like, do you have a savings?
And that was only at one base. There's like 4 training. There's like 4, buildings of like, training status. Like,
oh, okay, so you can really monopolize each building.
Yeah,
but you can hire a guy maybe.
Yeah, you make like $5,000 a week from each building.
Wow, just supplying death sticks to.
Yeah, basically. But
he's got a monopoly
frontline soldiers.
They're gonna buy them either way, so.
Yeah, you're right.
You might as well.
Be from me.
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well be from me.
Might as well be profit.
Who knows? Maybe the Chinese people's kids got to eat too.
What do you mean? What do you?
Whoever's making the vapes, they got kids too. They got a family that needs to eat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The supply.
Come on. This is like the circle of life.
It's a supply chain.
Basically. But yeah, I just remember that because I was cleaning out. I was because I basically waited last minute to make the books and ship everything like the day before I left. So I just left a mess everywhere. All these gutted books. And for all I know, they were probably great books.
Those poor kids were freaking out probably when they saw those. They're like, oh wait, he said there's stuff in this room that could get us in trouble. Let's see. Wait. Motherfucker suck drugs in here? Like, what is this?
The kid though, he goes, oh no, I heard about this. He goes, he's like, I heard you were getting it from one of the instructors. I'm like, no, it's not getting it.
You got it all twisted, dog.
I heard about this.
You got it.
We were talking about this on the bus on the way over.
It was funny. I had people like when I was home, like asking me, like, they'd be like, hey, do you have any nicotine? I'm like, no, leave me alone. I was like, I'm out. Like, I'm retired. Leave me alone.
Listen. I'm not selling.
I'm retired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
that's actually quite impressive.
It was. I was honestly lucky to like pull it off. Like everything kind of went right, but I'm also pulled it off because I'm me.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna say that's what you got to go with. Like you're you, and you just pulled that off because. I mean, you do that shit, baby.
Listen, man, you can do a lot of shit in this life if you have the confidence and the bravado to make people think that you can do it also. And that's all it came down to. I would I'm at the point in my life where I don't do anything if I don't want to do it.
That's facts.
And that's how I was there, in a place where you're forced to do stuff you don't want to do. I didn't do anything if I didn't want to do it. We'd have to eat outside on the ground and it would be freezing. I'm like, I ain't doing this. I'm going to go take my food and eat in my room. So I would make 2 plates of food. So now I'm getting double servings, and I would walk through the back door and make believe I'm taking it to the people in quarantine. I'm going straight to my room. I'm eating where it's warm. I got 2 servings of French toast this morning, baby. Boy's eating good.
Jesus, you were out here cheating the system. And look, you going in the army in the first place, like for me, that's like worst case scenario. Like I'm just not cut out for it. I don't give a fuck. Like I'll be the first to admit it. I would never do that to myself. So like you doing that, it's just impressive. So props to you. The truth
is, man, the Army's easy. The Army, at least in training, not saying that it is, but it was easier than the life I'm living right now. Is much easier. I didn't really have to think for myself.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of true.
I'm the only person who holds myself accountable here. I'm the only person who makes sure like that, only I can do these things. No one's going to make me do it. There, you don't really have a choice. It's easy to get through stuff because you really don't have a choice. The other option's much harder. If you want to quit, you can kiss the next 9 months of your life goodbye because you're going to spend the next 9 months waiting to go back home if you quit. Like,
that's the thing about the Army. I feel like it works so well for some people that have this situation. They're like, shit, I just need I need someone to push me to do something and I don't have to think for myself type of thing. Like I need to just be like with other people that force me to do stuff that, I don't make mistakes. Like people that are just down bad kind of thing. And also people that are,
oh man, like it definitely like, like me, I like in that sort of like environment, like I could have easily excelled. Just because like,
you weren't as down bad as other people that go into the Army. Is that
no? But I also like in the little bit of time I was in there, I did excel. Like there was like, and I kind of got screwed over. Like I honestly should have like 3. No, I'm not saying I should because this kind of sounds stupid, but like I don't think anybody who really is in the military is listening to this. But like I could have had like 3 Army achievement medals just like from basic training and AIT. Basically, I was up for distinguished honor grad in both. I didn't get it in basic because I had I left my locker unlocked and got counseled. But I basically should have had top shot in basic and distinguished honor grad because I shot a perfect 40 out of 40 with iron sights.
Just your locker dude.
Never happens in basic. And they still wouldn't give me an expert medal for it. Like I kind of got screwed over a lot. And I think that's why when I got to AIT, I was like, man, fuck the rules. I'm going to do whatever I want.
So you're a shooter with your Glock.
Because I was the kid who was like a try hard in basic because I was like, I'm in the National Guard. So I'm getting active duty pay right now. But when I go back home, it's back to getting a couple $100 a month, if that.
So that's what you're getting right now?
Yeah, I get like maybe like $220 a month.
Gotcha.
But so I'm like, if I want to get promoted, now is the easiest time to get promoted. So I'm like, I can get promoted twice by the time I get home if I play things right. So in basic, you succeed based off all the extra shit you do. So how much you like help out, how much you're a leader and all that stuff. So I was like the platoon leader and like all that stuff. And I was constantly the one who was like having to pick people up, having to like help out with stuff, delegate, like develop a plan, and like constant. Like I basically went so ham. Like I finished a land navigation course in like 45 minutes, which is like unheard of. I shot 40 out of 40 with the iron sights, which is unheard of, and just a bunch of stuff like that. And I didn't get distinguished honor grad because I left my locker unlocked, and then they didn't give me top shot because they decided for that cycle top shot was going to go to your scores like when you shot with optics, but my like weapon like wasn't zeroed, and this we just didn't have time to like zero up, and so I shot like shit. But so then when I got to AIT, I was like, but so then when you're in AIT and you're in tech school, they don't care about that extra stuff. They only care about how good you do in class. So I was like, perfect, because I'm going to be fine. I was like, I can learn basically anything if I put my mind to it. So I basically did. I was like, okay, I'm not going to like do all this extra bullshit. I'm going to do what I want, but I'm also going to like kill it and be good at my job. And I did. I had like the best test scores. And I think like, yeah. And I basically killed it, but I didn't, but my like, cause now I'm in great shape. I'm in great shape when I'm home, but the army does not get you in good shape. That's what people think, like, oh, you're going to go to the army, you're going to get in good shape. Like if you don't work out, like they're going to convince you that you're in good shape. But man, I put on like 25 pounds and was so out of shape. And it's tough to get in shape when you're in that environment, because me, like, I like cope with like food. Like my coping mechanisms, like I just like overindulge in things. And like food kind of tends to be one of them. And so like when the only thing you can do for fun is just eat, you tend to eat a lot. And especially when you spent 2 months of quarantine the last 12 months, you do a lot of eating.
Yeah.
And so like the first 6 weeks I was there, I was in quarantine. So I did nothing but eat.
I feel that. I probably spent, I don't even like to admit this, but I probably spent like, I broke my foot in November. And so I couldn't really walk until like properly walk until like late December. And I spent, I want to say like, maybe $2,000 on like DoorDash, Grubhub, like McDonald's garbage, like just because I didn't want to like cook my own food. My parents offered me to like, you know, help me get to the grocery store and get groceries. I was just like, nah, I'm good. I got money, you know, I'm about to just ball out. And I balled out, and it was just not worth it. Like 100% felt like shit. 100% like my body was, like my metabolism was just dog shit in the first place because I smoke weed every day. But like adding DoorDash and McDonald's and all that shit, man, it's just not worth it. So I feel you when it comes to like overindulging with food, because I tend to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It can be good and bad.
It can. You tend to learn how to cook when you're a fat ass at heart. I can cook a mean meal.
Yeah, I've seen your Snapchat stories.
Yeah, I love to get down every now and then when I got time.
Right.
But yeah, like man, I would just eat so much. One day in quarantine, they would bring us snacks at night, and this dude must have been having a bad day. This drill sergeant, he was like, "Just grab whatever you want off the truck." I'm like, "You shouldn't have said that, Blair." I'm about to ransack this thing. So I get in line, and the first time they had these like chocolate like recovery bars, and I'm like, oh, this is like the closest thing to like chocolate. And I don't eat fast food or candy or anything when I'm home. But when I was there, like all bets were off. I grabbed like 4 Planters trail mixes, 4 of these chocolate bars, like 3 bananas and 3 apples, and I ate all of it that night. And then you read the back of the wrapper, and it says to eat 1 of these chocolate bars a day and not more than 2 in 48 hours. And I'm like, oh no, I messed up bad. I had a stomach ache for a week and couldn't go to the bathroom.
Oh,
like
my God.
It's like
Flagged up.
1,000% of like your daily's value worth of calcium and vitamin D. Like it's crazy.
That's a huge fuck up, man. I'm sorry.
It was. They were damn good. Yeah, it was nuts. But yeah, it was an interesting time. I would say like obviously like people ask me how it is, and I was like, it was fine. Like honestly, the people you're with, like those are the ones who make it worthwhile. Like I met like 2 or 3 of my favorite people I've really met. And that was my biggest concern going. I'm like not worried about anything they're gonna make me do here. I'm more just worried that like I'm not gonna like meet anybody I really like connect with, because you know everybody comes from like different walks of life, and like I'm very independent, so like I'm going in somewhere where I have to like work as a team with like kids who just graduated high school, and I'm like the type of person who like doesn't even want to work with adults. So this is gonna be tough.
Yeah,
but I was fortunate enough I made a really good friend like the first day I got there, and we went through everything together, like from the first quarantine to the last quarantine. Like he ended up getting quarantined one time, and I ended up getting quarantined with him. But we were separated for one day, and I was telling him, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to tell him I got symptoms, so I get quarantined with you. I was gonna fake having COVID, so I got quarantined with him because we were that tight. We did everything together.
Jesus.
That's dope. You found like an actual like homie.
Oh, this was like, yeah, this kid's a sweetheart. Joshua Villanueva. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I love this guy. Yeah, he was great. And then my roommate, Smith, the one who'd been there forever, like that man has some of the craziest stories and just like perspective on life. Like, you know, you meet people who came from a very different background than you, but you also like, you find things like you connect on. And yeah, he was great. Yeah, it's crazy. And then Kobe Raines was another one of my friends, just this country boy from Tennessee, the pride of Campbell County, Tennessee. But yeah, those are like, there's some crazy people. You just see some like crazy things there.
Yeah, it's like the melting pot of America is the military service.
Yeah, it really is.
All walks of life.
Yeah, it really is. Honestly, like, man, like there's like, it's not all great, but there are some pretty great things about it, especially for certain people. It's definitely made for certain people. The active side of it, maybe not. Like if I didn't have other things going for me and I didn't have so much like stuff, like I guess I just have like a lot of stuff like attached with me where I can't really just like pick up and like go do something else. I would have no problem being active. I probably would have had no problem doing it. But I also never thought about that. Never once considered it.
Yeah.
That was never for me.
Never crossed the brain.
I'd be right on the same page as you, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, I just linked your podcast for people to go check out.
Yeah, there's no recent episodes up, but the last few were great. Honestly, I would like to say I'm gonna do one soon, but I have no idea.
Yeah. So you no plans for the.
I mean, my only plan eventually is just to start doing it again. I guess that's the first step.
Yeah.
Start doing it again. I got this fancy new mixer. Oh, hit the Rappaport.
Fuck up.
But yeah, so I think I could start having callers and do a little bit more. You know, it's tough to get people in person, and that's kind of all we did. So I had the same people as like guests for like over and over, but yeah, work on it.
I totally feel that, dude. I think having guests on is great, but I think having guests in person is a lot more beneficial to the whole broadcast.
It's tough.
It's tough to do, but it's more beneficial. I feel like it brings the group together, and this thing is definitely temporary.
I haven't really watched the one I did with Hunter and Jose. I did a little bit just when I was in quarantine because I had it on my laptop, and I was like, it's like the closest thing to a movie I got. Oh yeah, well I can actually never mind. I can't tell that story, but I can tell you guys when you stop recording. Okay. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, we're about to get off. All right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll have you on next time. Another time.
Wyatt Walls, people. From
Yes,
the window
sir.
to the walls.
True.